Well, nearly one of every $3 spent by high-income retirees goes right back to taxes, according to a study by Lincoln Financial Group. I mean, let that sink in for a second. One out of every $3.
Omaha's retirement strategist Darrell Bryant is here to explain.
Yeah, Darrell is one of the area's leading financial advisors and retirement planners. He also hosts his very own weekly retirement radio show on 1110 KFAB. Good to see you, Darrell. How was your weekend?
Nice to be here. It's great. Great.
Good.
How about you? Good?
Fantastic,
Yeah,
nice weekend.
Yeah.
We're talking taxes today, and I don't think people out there realize how much we pay in taxes, but when it comes to retiring, taxes can be a significant part of your outgoing expenses.
Yeah,
right?
You know, to be honest with you, I would say the 1/3 it might be a little light, especially for high wage earners, unless we get this tax code changed. But you have, in addition to federal and state taxes, you have property taxes, and you have the state of Nebraska, where we have such a high property tax. That's a big deal too. You pay tax on anything you buy, right?
Sales tax.
Auto tax. I mean, you start adding that up, it's an enormous number. So the key is to try to, as always, whether retired or not retired yet, is to bring those taxes down and to hold on to as much as you can by taking advantage of the code. You know, you just have to understand the code, which you're probably not going to read and understand, so you need to hire a CPA and work with that CPA.
So you can minimize the taxes that you're paying now and in retirement?
Sure. Here's
the
thing.
The right way?
Yeah, here's the problem when somebody gets ready to retire. Most people have the majority of their savings has been done in their qualified plan. So that would be IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, SEPs, Simples, all those, fancy accounts. Well, they're growing tax deferred. Well, when you get ready to retire, well, you're going to be taxed on all of that. On any dime that you take out of there is going to be taxable to you at the most unfavorable rate there is, which is ordinary income tax rates. So what we want to do then is to consider what we're doing prior to retirement with regard to Roth IRAs, particularly, so that we have some income flexibility in retirement. Most people are not aware, surprisingly, that you can do Roth IRAs in your 401k very commonly, so you want to check into that with your employer. Just call the benefits office and ask them. You might like to, once you maximize, if you're still working, once you maximize the 401k to the extent that you're going to be matched, right? Let's say you're going to be matched on your first 5%. Well, make sure and put your first 5% in there so you get your 100% match. But beyond that, in light of the fact that you're going to want tax-free income in retirement, consider anything that you do over and above the match, either to go in the Roth portion of the 401k or just take those dollars and stop doing it in the 401k, start putting those dollars in your own Roth IRA outside, so that you begin to set up income flexibility in retirement. Why? Because what happens, Mike, is you get retired, you say, gee whiz, honey, we sure would like to take some more dollars out of our, we need some more money, another $10,000 this year. Where are we going to pull it from? Well, if everything's in a taxable account, that's going to be a problem.
You're paying taxes on it when you pull it out.
And you might be right next to going into the next highest tax bracket. Well, you'd like to avoid that by taking from a tax-free account. So the time to prepare for that is right now, not after you retire.
And I've heard you talk time and time again about taxes and how much taxes in retirement can be a burden.
Sure.
And planning for taxes. Do all firms look at that, or what you do, is that kind of specialized in that regard?
Well, what we do is income planning, and so this is subject matter that we're in all day long. Now, we're not a CPA firm, we don't file tax returns, but what we want to do is work with your CPA. Let me give you a hint on the CPA. Your CPA, particularly if you are, well, at any age, but particularly if you're 60 years old or 55 years old or older, he should be beginning to set you up properly and advise you and be proactive on setting you up with which accounts to fund so that you can prepare for exactly what we're talking about today. The problem is that most CPAs, I believe, are not proactive, they're reactive. So what they do is they will simply take your information, do the math, that's what you owe, see you next year. Well, that's not what you want. What you want is, gosh, if you would have just done this or that, you could have paid a lot less, so let's get a checklist out so the next year we're not in this situation. Or even better, let's forecast the amount of income that you're going to need at retirement. Let's look at what you're going to have in Social Security or pensions or whatever it is, and then let's design a plan that is going to have both taxable income and tax-free income at the time that you need it to keep you in lower tax brackets. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Now, something great that you do is you have these exclusive workshops that people can attend.
You can't come. I'm sorry.
I know that's okay. I'm not. I know I have to be approaching retirement
no,
or
you
recently.
can
I've got a long way to go. But what can people learn at these workshops?
Oh, they're wonderful, and the advisor in my office that's heading this up, his name is David Brooks, and he's done many of these events. We don't have a lot of these during the year. We may have another round later this year. If you're interested in learning how to prepare, especially if you're a higher wage earner, to prepare for a lower tax environment, a taxable environment going into retirement, then indeed come to this. And David is going to go into great detail about this, but also in layman's terms. You'll walk away with some real knowledge.
Like these questions right here.
Yeah.
I mean, simple changes to make on tax returns that could save you thousands. How your actions today could affect your taxes during retirement. And I think this is going to what President Trump's tax plan means for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are 3 opportunities to attend the workshop: July 11th, July 12th, and July 13th. It starts at 6:30. It's a venue called View West.
Yeah.
Right. At 6:30. And what you'll do is you'll even receive a complimentary dinner. Thank you, Darrell.
Great.
To RSVP is
so I will be
It's
there.
really small.
Yeah, so she's
it's just a very, it's just a.
so just call 402-932-2141 now. Space is limited, so just make sure you do call.
Should be good info.
Yes, or head over to dbryantretirementstrategies.com, of course, for more information on the workshops and other information on setting up an appointment.
You bet. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get
great,
information.
great information.
Be happy to hear from you, and we're here to serve the Omaha community, so just give us a call and we'll get you squared away.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Darrell. Guest of the Morning Blend.